Okay, so the purpose of the elevator speech is that at some point in time, you are probably going to have to do an interview that is going to be online in your life, especially the way things are moving in today's world. So the elevator speech, the purpose of it is that you are going to be on camera. You are going to give 30 seconds, not a whole long time, just 30 seconds on the speech. You're going to use your phone or you can use your Chromebook. When you do it, you're going to make sure that your phone is here and it's at eye view. So it's going to be at eye level. So that means you probably have to stack books up on your table in order to do so. Looking at the instructions here, it's going to be in landscape view. Must be in a well lit area. So as you can see, I have well lighting on me. You can see my face. I'm not this dark shadow with a bright window behind me. I must be looking directly into the camera. So you can tell when I am reading the instructions, I'm looking down like this, and when I am talking to the camera, I am looking directly at the camera. I am looking up at the camera. I am not looking down and looking down my nose. Okay? So I need to be looking directly at the camera. I need to have a plain wall behind me. Well, in my office, I don't have a plain wall. I have books. You don't want to have a whole lot of stuff behind you in a general interview with somebody. If I were interviewing for a job, I would empty all these books and I'd put nice little display back there. But since it's just y'all, I'm gonna leave all my books up there. And what you would make sure is that you don't see the ceiling fan behind me. You also don't see a headboard behind me. You don't see a kitchen sink full of dirty dishes. It needs to be a nice, clean background. The next one is your entire upper body needs to be in the picture. So I would be back here like this with the entire upper body in the picture. I'm sitting closer to y'all because I'm sitting closer to the camera. So you don't want it to be just your head like this right here because then you got this floating head and it's kind of scary. All right. You need to have it at least 30 seconds in length. You are going to say your first name, your full name, the year of graduation, the name of the high school, Cook High School, and the name of your work site. Now, what is going to be the meat of the video? The meat of the video is going to be what have you learned from being in work-based learning that you had not learned otherwise. So in other words, you need to keep it a positive viewpoint. You can't say, well, I learned Miss Pitts is a stickler for getting things in on time. You could say that, but when you say it, you got to make it positive. So I've learned that I need to get everything in on time because there are deadlines to be met at a place of employment. You could turn it into something like that. So here are some examples of what you could do. You could do time management, you could do responsibility, work ethic, skills at work, balance in school and work. You can choose whatever you want it to be for you to talk about for at least around 30 seconds. Do not make it more than a minute. I don't want to hear a whole life story. 30 seconds is plenty big enough. All right, you can be creative by using a quote. You can use an example in your life of something that you learned. You could use a person that you admired or anything like that. Just be a little bit creative. Okay? So an example of this might be to cover all my bases. I could start off with, hi, my name is Jenny Pitts. I graduate in the year 2030. I go to Cook High School and I currently work at Cook Middle School in the Media Center. Some of the things that I've learned from being in the work-based learning program at Cook High School is that I need to make sure that I inform my employer every time I may have an upcoming event that I may not be able to make it to school, or if I wake up sick, I need to make sure that I inform all the people that need to know that I'm going to be out that day because I realize that while I'm out of school, that somebody's going to have to pick up my slack, and so therefore I need to make sure that I follow the protocol of the company of making sure that attendance is recorded correctly. So, in other words, I would my protocol at my place is that I'm supposed to email my mentor and tell them that I'm going to be out. I'm also supposed to email my teacher and let her know that I'm going to be out. Therefore, I've covered all my bases. If I need to ask off for future events, like say I'm going on a field trip or something like that, I would need to. My policy at my place of employment is to email my mentor at least 3 days in advance so that they can make sure that there is somebody there to cover my job. Um, and so, again, what I think is most important that I brought away from work-based learning classes is that I didn't know that you needed to let somebody know in advance that I was going to be out. I just thought that if I didn't show up, it would be okay. Um, Boom. There it is. 30 seconds. basically telling you something that I have learned at Work-Based Learning. Very simple. Once I've done that, I save the video, upload that video to this site, and that would be the end of this assignment. So thank you very much. If you have any questions whatsoever, make sure that you come by my office and I'll help you out.